Well, welcome into today's training camp practice report. Alex, Barth, Scott Zolak. We are brought to you by Safety Insurance. Day 8 of Patriot training camp. Last one for me and Zoe. We'll have some more of these with the rotating cast next week, but the way vacations and stuff line up, and a kind of a perfect way to wrap it up, Zoe. Patriots had a walkthrough practice today again, so not much from today. We'll talk mostly about kind of the last 2 weeks and what we've seen to this point before the Patriots get into game week. They'll have their in-stadium practice tomorrow, and then it's game week next week ahead of the Washington Commanders coming to town. But the big news today, Mac Hollands off PUP, back on the field. Not just back on the field, he was, and it was a walkthrough, but he was right in that rotation. First snap with Drake May. A little less reps for Kendrick Bourne, but I think he kind of took a little from everybody. How does Mac Hollands, in your mind, impact the picture of the wide receiver room overall?
Well, if you listen to Ramondre Stevenson, and he was on with Kay Adams, I mean, Christ, she got 3 fucking interviews right out of the gate with the ownership group, with Mr. Kraft. Then she had Ramondre, and then she had Drake May. She does a great job.
Did she have Henry too? Hunter Henry?
She may have. I don't know.
I thought I saw another one.
know.
Yeah, no, she's a superstar.
She was great in the Super Bowl. She cleaned my glasses with her pants.
Oh,
so it was
that was nice.
Very nice of her.
You didn't have your rag?
I did have a rag. I had one of the white. I actually had to bring this because somebody said that I was bleeding in it yesterday. No, that was ketchup.
Okay.
That was ketchup.
Glad we
I
got
had
that
ketchup
cleared up.
all in my hands. But yeah, I mean, we know who Steph Diggs is, right?
Yes.
We know who Mac Hollins is. Like, you say, okay, they're going to go sign this guy, Mac Hollins. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. He was in Buffalo. He was with Josh at one point.
Career year
but
with
like,
Josh.
Just a good X receiver. When I say X receiver, he's got size. He's physical.
Yeah.
He's going to run slants, curls, digs. And that's going to be about it. Maybe a couple comebacks. I wonder if he could be a go guy, too. If, get down the field with his height and go up and get the ball at his highest point. He's aggressive. He sacrifices his body. I think the biggest thing is he's going to be very good in the blocking game. Remember N'Keal Harry and how you would motion him down in? And N'Keal was really, really good at blocking, in the run game. Couldn't catch a damn ball to save his life. But he was good in the run game, and I think they used him to the best of his ability to do that. And it just makes me, go down that wide receiver list. Like, adding a guy like that makes you look at Baker and Polk and say, boy, it just makes it tougher on those guys because you didn't really have Mac Hollins to talk about here. Right. But, that guy's making a team. He made money. You
mentioned him being the X. Were you surprised that they moved him around as much as they did? Because he was mostly at the X table. We saw him in the slot a little bit. We saw him at Z a little bit. I think they might see him as more than just an X. Hey, he'll play there.
Yeah.
But I think he may have other roles, too.
Well, I think in the run game, too, Josh is going to want him in that short motion with a return motion that help on the edge, help seal that edge. Maybe block the safety that's down in the box. I just think now that they're trying to find personnel groupings, like what works best for them. Kahan Booty has played his way into this thing where he's getting more and more reps. And what's going to be the best grouping if you go 3 wide? It's obviously going to be Diggs, Hollands, and Pop. And then I think that's where you start incorporating a guy like Booty. I keep going to Booty. Like, he's making plays throughout camp.
No, he's been the big thing for me with Kahan Booty the last couple of years when he was here. He would have these unbelievable days where he'd catch 5 or 6 passes. He'd make a highlight catch. It was great. But then he'd have 3 or 4 days where he wouldn't catch anything. He wouldn't get open for 3 or 4 days. And it's just the flashes are there, but you got to be consistent in this league. And maybe the highs haven't been as high in this camp for him, but that's okay because he's been consistent. And at a certain point, you just need that, and the highs will come because he has the talent, but the baseline needs to be a certain level to get on the field, and he was just way too hot and cold his first 2 years, and if he's gotten to that baseline, that would be very encouraging.
Do you think he was coached well those first 2 years?
I mean, they didn't really have wide receivers coaches.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's
it definitely reflects on that.
He's out there scrambling, trying to just make plays with the short reps that he's given. I like guys like that because I played with a guy by the name of Troy Brown, and Troy and I were always on the scout team. And he would get cut, he'd bring him back, get cut, bring him back. Hassan Graham played for him instead of him in the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, Desmond Howard's down running a kickback, and we end up losing that Super Bowl. That's one of the reasons we lost it. But
Troy Brown, like a 12th round pick, right?
Yeah, I mean,
back in the day?
I can't remember what round.
It's a round that doesn't exist anymore. I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 real days of the draft back in the day. Man.
Speaking of the coaching thing, I don't know if you got a chance to hear any of Jaylen Plunk's press conference yesterday, but he was asked kind of about his mindset. He said he has a new approach going into this year, new mindset, and then he was asked what that was, and he said, no, it's actually the same mindset. I haven't changed a lot. He was asked what changed about his game. Said he hasn't changed a lot. He was asked why. He said, he doesn't listen to the narratives. He's just going to go out there and be him. And he hasn't changed a lot in his approach. I thought that was pretty interesting. From a guy that had 12 catches last year, mentioning the narratives, 12 catches in 15 games isn't a narrative. It's a lack of production.
I think he's.
But it seemed like, the point was, it seemed like he was really putting it on the situation fucked him up last year. And it wasn't him, it was the coaching and the situation that led to his lack of production.
I just remember, he in the back end line of the end zone, where to this day I think he still thinks that was a touchdown.
The toe heel play.
Yeah, the toe heel play.
You could say the rule sucks, but they called
the rule sucks. Even the head coach at the time, Gerard Mayo, said the rule's a rule. He's out. He was out.
Right.
And even that next week, he kept saying, I was in. You saw the play. Yeah, we saw the play. I called it out as I was live calling the game. If he truly believes that, I'm moving on. I could really forget things. I just think he's a little embarrassed. I think he's been hearing the noise out there, and you just become a little defiant in it. He's in a tough spot. He's in a really tough spot.
He is. All right, we reset the depth chart at wide receiver here after 2 weeks. I kind of want to do the offensive line, too, because I feel like there's a clear group of these guys are making a push and these guys aren't. So you have, if everybody's healthy, your starting 5 is going to be left to right: Campbell, Jared Wilson, Garrett Bradbury, Mike Onwenu, Morgan Moses. So that's 5. Caden Wallace has looked like one of their top backups. Cole Strange has been in the mix as a starter. You figure he's still in there. Ben Brown is now clearly the backup center. And then DeMontre Jacobs has been their backup right tackle. The only other guy that's gotten significant sorts of reps is Marcus Bryant, the 7th-round pick. And where he comes in is, I named 9 linemen I think are going to make the team, and that's usually about how many you keep. There's no backup left tackle in there. So Marcus Bryant can be your left tackle. And then the question is, are you cutting Strange because you think he's only a backup left guard and that's it?
Yeah,
There's
what's
no
the money? They're
versatility.
going to start looking at the money. You're going to save
Right.
money. But why do they need to save money? You got to keep good players. They need good offensive linemen. I mean, we're 7-8 days into this thing now, and you got linemen going down left and right. We haven't even seen Vidarian Lowe, but we know what Vidarian Lowe is. I think they know what Vidarian Lowe is. I think it's the utmost importance to get Campbell up and running at left tackle. Stick him there. Hey, he had a tough week, but he's a rookie, and I think his head's on a swivel. He's under a lot of pressure. I just want to see him against real competition, see what he does.
Yeah, the joint practices are going to be big for him. And
it'll be fucking fun.
It's going to be interesting because if you look at Washington doesn't have much on the edge when they come in here. They do have Dietrich Wise, his length is the first thing that stands out.
Right.
He's a massive human with long arms.
You're talking about stretch. That's
right. So we're going to see. He's probably going to line up opposite Will Campbell right away. He's a guy you think he's going to come in here with the chip on his shoulder, right, having not been re-signed.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird to say Dietrich Wise is the big test when you look at he's going to face Max Crosby week 1, but I think it's going to be a pretty good evaluation opportunity for Campbell, who yesterday, it was that one period, really, that was rough. Outside of that, I think he was okay, but 2 sacks and 4 plays is always going to be the headline.
Yeah, and I just think, too, you look at you need 5 guys. You need continuity up front. So Josh and Marone are going to look at this and say, we got to pick the 5 guys that give us the best chance to win. And I think that's why we're going to see some of that rotation in the middle. And you can tell they're very intrigued by the kid from Georgia.
And there's a lot
like
to be
the next
intrigued
David
by.
Andrews. This could be a gem for them.
Did you get to ask Andrews about him today when he was
up
here?
We did.
What did he give you?
He's excited about it. He's like, that's great, man. But see, that would be one where I was like, man, if we just had Andrews here, where he could sort of teach him the game, and be around it. Yeah, it's tough the way it ended for David. I felt bad for David.
No, it is.
I think he's past it. He's in a good place right now. Good. He's dropped some weight. He looks great.
Yeah, he did like the linemen. They all do that, right? They come out after a tyrant there. 50. Was it Jeff Saturday lost like 100 pounds a year or something like that?
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
He thinned out. Anything from the defense through the first couple weeks that stood out to you? Your biggest takeaway from the defense?
Well, I'm concerned about the corners right now. I mean, your biggest strength on defense was your 2 cover corners, and for whatever reason, you haven't seen Davis yet. And we know what it is with Gonzalez. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
But it's just, you want to get out there. You want to get in the flow of things. You want to get your calls down, Depth at linebacker. What happens if, Spillane goes down? What are we doing? We kicking Devy back inside again? Or is it going to be Ellis running around, undersized Christian Ellis? I like Christian Ellis.
Yeah.
But I worry about the depth of the linebackers. I think up front you're going to be fine.
I think as we wrap it up here, it seems like the big picture take from the first 2 weeks is, and I don't want to put your words in your mouth, but kind of what we've been dancing around. The starting groups on both sides of the ball feel improved. Maybe they're not amazing, but they're better, noticeably better than they were last year. The depth is still scary. As soon as guys start to come out of that lineup, it's a house of cards, and it can get real ugly real quick when you start losing.
We're not saying they're a playoff team or a Super Bowl team. And I heard you with Felger and Maz yesterday, and I agree with you on this, that it just feels better.
Yeah.
I can't say why. It's just It's the vibe. You feel like there's adults in the room that are teaching. They're on the move. You can tell it's instructional. It's an instructional camp. And, the quarterback, I think, has gotten better, and that's a big one. That's a big one.
That's the other big story. Like, he looks better. No interceptions through the first 2 weeks. Looks in control of the offense. And part of that take-two yesterday was just some of it's about how far away they were last year.
They were far.
They were just not a good team last year. So there was room to get a lot better and still not be great. But
Manti fucking Te'o, remember him?
Yeah.
Far from it.
Far from it. That's going to be a wrap on this training camp practice report.
Good job,
brought to you by
Barth.
Safety Insurance. Good job, Zoe. It's been a pleasure.
I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week. We'll be back. Or do we have one more? Do me and Zoe have one more, Jim?
Next Wednesday?
Wednesday? Me and Zoe are here. Oh, I'm not doing Wednesday.
Okay.
Because I'm on with Felger and Maz.
Hey, it's been a ball then.
It's been a ball. But we'll have more of these reports for you. I'll have one with Matt Dolph tomorrow. We'll kind of mix and match next week. Sports Hub YouTube page, Patriots Hub podcast. We'll get him to swear. I'll get him to swear.
All right, buddy. Thanks, pal.
We'll be back next week's Patriots Hub podcast, Sports Hub YouTube page, wherever you get yours. Matt and I have more coverage on 98.5thesportshub.com. Until the next one, for Scott Zolak, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.